Are you scared to start a new life? Do you feel it's time to just change something up in your life? Are you feeling like life is just boring? You feel like you're stuck in a rut and you need some oomph to like just get excited. Something to find excitement for. So, what are you scared? What are you scared about? Do you want to change your life? Do you want to start again? I have been through two different new lives. Two different new lives. When I was 8 years old, I left Australia with my parents and my brothers and moved to the UK. And that was a big change. That was a big culture shock. I am half English, half Australian, so obviously I could come and go. But at the age of 8, I had to start a new life in the UK. And it was very difficult to swallow that I had left Australia, left all my friends and family behind, and moved to a different country where I had to start again. I got put in a new school. We're in a different country, a town that is completely different to what I'm used to living in. And obviously, the people, the weather, just everything was different. And I had to adapt to change. I had to adapt. I had no choice. I couldn't go back on that plane at 8 years old. I had to adapt to the new me. Fast forward many years, growing up, going through school, getting jobs, going through to uni. I become who I became. I did what I did. I traveled and I lived a great life. And when I got to the age of 29, I felt as though it was time to move back home. I had been to and from to Australia, but a part of me just knew I belonged back at home. So I ventured back home and I made that decision that I wanted to start my life again back home. I had always dreamed of coming back home, being here to start just a fresh life and just see what life could have been like in that time frame of when I wasn't here. All the opportunities I missed. But when I think about it, I lived a great life in the UK and it made me who I am today. I got to travel, I have amazing friends. I lived in such a beautiful city and I'm so grateful and I come and go all the time. It's something that's quite beneficial to having two parents with dual citizenship. You can just come and go. But what I'm getting at with all this is I made the decision to move back to Australia by myself. I made the decision to leave my family in the UK, leave my friends, leave my life that I had built, leave my jobs, and just move back home. It's kind of like just taking that risk. You see that cliff and you're just about to run and jump. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if life is going to be better on the other side. You don't know. And that's the risk that I wanted to take because deep down, I knew I needed to go home. I wanted that fresh start. Even though I was 29 years old, I was single, I have no children, I wanted to go back home to make that fresh start. It doesn't matter how old you are. I had started my new life again at the age of 29. 29. I don't have a home to buy. I don't have luxury stuff. I just got on the plane and left my life behind. I packed up, sold everything, and thought, I'm going home. I'm going to start a new life, and I'm going to take that risk. I could have stayed in the UK. I could have kept my home, my car, my job, everything. I could have still traveled all Europe. I could have been with my friends, my family. But no, I chose to take that risk because I wanted to make a new life for myself. I wanted to explore and I wanted to find myself. I took that risk. I jumped on that plane. I packed my suitcase. But before I went back to Australia, I decided to stop in Bali and do a 3 week backpacking tour. Of course, you have to take the risk. You have to just explore and enjoy life at the same time. And now that I've been back in Australia 2.5 years, I am so grateful I took that leap. I absolutely dearly miss my friends and my brothers in the UK. But the good thing is, I can always come and go whenever I want to. Obviously, it's going to be a very pricey journey and a very long journey, but it's definitely worth it. If you feel like you have the urge to change your life, you feel like something is just not going right, you don't feel like you're making progress, it's time to change. It's time to get out of your comfort zone. It's time to just book that plane ticket. If you want to move to a different country, do it. I highly suggest that you do. If you really feel destined and drawn to making such a big decision, then it is for you. And all you can do is take that risk to find out. I took that risk. I came back home knowing, yeah, I still have family here, absolutely, but life may not go the way that I think it would go. But in the end, it has gone more better than I actually thought. It's gone perfect. And I'm still working on my life. I'm still growing myself, growing everything else in my life, progressing every time I go on. But I'm so glad I took that risk to make a new life because I have evolved throughout the years and I am a newer person than what I was 2.5 years ago. And I'm grateful for this journey that I'm on. What is meant for us will happen. Whatever we're supposed to do, we will always be pulled in that direction. If you feel like you're getting pulled in a direction, that is the path that I suggest that you take. It could be very bumpy. It could be like a roller coaster up and down and you're thinking, damn, I should have took the other path. This isn't going right. But when something isn't going right, when a path is just up and down, that's a test for you. That's a test to test you. But you have to keep going. So you get to the other side and you're just rewarded for the progress, the resilience, and the strongness that you had in yourself to push forward. We have to leave our comfort zone. We have to get out of that box, leave the home, leave the job, leave the relationship, leave the country, and go explore. Go find yourself. Life is what we make it. If you want to go do something, you have goals and dreams, go after them because that is what you're supposed to do. If you have that thought in your head and it keeps constantly popping in, that thought was put there for a reason. And if you don't action that thought, if you don't progress and work towards that thought, that goal, or that business, that thought is going to disappear out your mind and go into someone else's mind of the exact same business or type of idea that someone is going to put action into and they're going to work on that. And then sooner or later, you're going to see that in the shop, on the TV, and you're going to think, that was my idea. I had that idea. And look what happened. Look what happened. Someone else had the exact same idea because you didn't action it. So they actioned it, and look what happened. So if you have a dream or a desire of a business goal, or if you want to move country, you want to start a new life, you want to buy that house, you want to buy that car, go do it. If you want to start that new life, go do it because it will only evolve you into the person you need to become. How are you going to know what life could be like if you don't take that risk, if you don't take that jump? Every time I have an opportunity come my way and I'm not sure and I'm really scared, I go for it because when you're scared, you're supposed to be scared for a reason because that's the challenge you need to take on to evolve, to adapt into a better life, into a better you. So every time you feel scared about an opportunity and you do feel like you want to do it, go for it because it could completely change your life. Moving back to Australia has completely changed me. I had a massive glow up. I've been going into so many projects and businesses. I've worked my way up in business and my career and also in work. I've done a lot of self-healing, self-development, personal development, become a life coach, And I'm evolving into the person I need to become because I decided to change my life. And it's not always just changing country, it could be moving city. It could be just staying in the same city, but changing everything around you, changing the environment, changing your friends, changing your job, just changing certain areas that you feel are a problem in your life. Change it. Because starting life again is not that difficult. I started life nearly at the age of 30. And do I regret it? No. Do I wish I did it sooner? Not really, because I never really thought about it sooner. And I don't really hold regrets in my life because what is meant to happen happens. And everything happens at the right time. So I know I was supposed to move back home at the right time because before I probably wasn't mentally or physically ready, but now I am. So, what sort of regret would you have if you don't change your life? If you don't decide to book that plane ticket or move country or just change something in your life? When you go to your deathbed and you reflect back on your life, what is the regrets you're going to have? I wish I moved country. I wish I moved to that country for that person. Who knows what it could happen? Who knows? Because you're not going to know. You're not going to know what happened because you didn't take that risk. So why not take that risk? Because who knows if tomorrow is ever going to happen?